So, guys, let's talk about this incredible clash between Doctor Doom and Hulk in the MCU. It's a debate that's really heating up among fans. What do you think about this rivalry? Especially considering Doom's sharp intelligence versus Hulk's brute strength?
Look, I think the discussion is super interesting. Doom isn't just an ordinary villain. He has that strategic touch, an intelligence that goes beyond physical strength, right?
Exactly. It's kind of like comparing a game of chess to a street fight. Hulk has monstrous strength, but Doom, with his armor and tricks, could surprise in a direct confrontation.
True, and it's worth remembering that in the comics they've faced off before, where Doctor Doom actually showed that he wasn't just anyone to take on Hulk's brute strength, right?
Yes, in the classic stories from the 70s and even in 2010, the confrontation really heated up. These clashes highlight that the outcome of the duel isn't just about physical power, but about the ability to think and maneuver tactically.
But, I actually have my doubts. Do you think that in the MCU, this strategic side of Doctor Doom will stand out against the Hulk? I mean, movie adaptations usually put more emphasis on physical action, don't you think?
Look, yeah, I get your point, but if Marvel wants to surprise us, they could really explore that difference. Just imagine, Doom could use technological tricks and devices, like traps and schemes, to neutralize Hulk's brute strength.
That's definitely a possibility. But on the other hand, Hulk, in his berserker form, is simply a destruction machine. When he goes into that mode, it seems like nothing can stop him. Do you think Doom could really contain something like that?
Well, in the comics, the confrontation has already shown that Doctor Doom doesn't shy away from challenges. He's already faced the Jade Giants, and even he's survived some pretty surprising clashes. But of course, it would all depend on the context, on how the script decides to explore this fight in the movies.
And there's also the question of what to expect from the Hulk in the MCU. After years without such a strong spotlight, the hero's return could be a bit unstable. Will Marvel go for a more restrained version, or are they really going to unleash the full monster?
Yeah, expectations are high. Maybe this clash will actually serve to redefine the Hulk's limits in the MCU. Imagine if, after all this waiting, Hulk reveals a new side of himself, a force so uncontrollable that it even surprises Doctor Doom.
I get it, but I actually question that perspective a bit. Marvel often tries to balance the characters so that no one steals the spotlight. Wouldn't it be too risky to give Hulk such a devastating version that he could overshadow other elements of the story? But that's exactly the trick, isn't it? If Marvel frames the clash as a battle of styles mind versus strength, they can definitely find a balance. Doctor Doom comes across almost like a master strategist, someone who knows how to exploit both the weaknesses and strengths of his opponent. That's a valid point. After all, Doom's strategy isn't just some makeshift workaround. It's like the result of years of experience and a superior intellect, which can even plan out scenarios where the Hulk is at a disadvantage.
Exactly. And if you think about it, it's kind of like that saying that intelligence beats strength. Of course, there are also moments when sheer brute force commands respect. It's a balance, like being able to adapt on the fly.
So one detail is the comparison with classic fights. We've already seen this clash explored in various ways in the comics, which ends up influencing expectations for the movies, right?
Yes, exactly. And look, in the comics, the confrontation often reveals more about each character's personality and motivations than just the battle itself. In this case, what might be more impactful is seeing how Doctor Doom uses his tricks and his armor, which isn't just protection, but a symbol of his cunning.
And his armor also serves as an extension of his identity, right? Since he's a villain who, besides brute strength, represents the supremacy of intellect and technological power. But I wonder, can this factor really overcome the raw instinct and fury of the Hulk?
Look, yeah, I actually believe that if the script is well written, it can play with that in a clever way, putting Hulk in situations where his strength becomes a disadvantage. Like when his brutality blinds him to strategy.
I even agree, but it seems a bit risky to me. I mean, the audience expects to see Hulk smashing everything. If he's portrayed in such a restrained way, it could be disappointing, don't you think?
Well, it's a risk, no doubt. But look, that could also make room for a richer narrative. For example, if we show that Hulk is struggling to find a balance between his rage and his more rational side, that would add extra depth to the character.
Yeah, that's the central point for many heroes, the internal struggle. And thinking about that, the confrontation with Dr. Doom could be a metaphor for controlling one's own limitations.
Exactly. Like it's as if every external battle reflects an internal one. Doom, with his calculated coldness, could even provoke Hulk to question his own instincts, forcing him to rethink his rage.
But look, isn't that a bit of an overly romantic view for typical superhero comics? Sometimes the clash is just pure adrenaline and unrestrained action.
I agree it's risky, but I think Marvel, always wanting to innovate, might venture into that approach. After all, the adult audience, who already knows the comics, might enjoy a narrative with more nuance, you know?
It really is a bold gamble. Now, from the fans' perspective, the expectation is that this duel will deliver epic moments and stunning visuals. After all, these are two giants with completely opposite styles.
Absolutely. And just thinking about the visual effects this battle could bring, it's like a mix of Doom's advanced technology against Hulk's raw destruction.
Oh, and we can't forget the possibility of the Berserker Hulk making a full comeback in Avengers. Secret Wars, which adds another layer of unpredictability. That completely changes the playing field, don't you think?
Absolutely. This return of Hulk in his most brutal form could be the game changer. If he really proves to be that overwhelming, Dr. Doom will have to use every technique and trick he has to contain that fury.
But what if Marvel decides that in the MCU the focus should be more on a battle of wits? In that case, Dr. Doom could dominate the confrontation, exploiting every weakness in Hulk's strength. Here, strategy takes on enormous importance.
Exactly. That would be a really cool twist on what people expect, right? Like, while everyone expects to see Hulk going all out, Doom would be moving the pieces like a chess master, anticipating every move.
Personally, I believe this approach opens up a huge range of possibilities for character development. But I'd like to offer a critique here. This idea can sometimes make the fight lose that sense of raw intensity, taking away some of the raw emotion we expect from a clash between titans.
Valid point. It's true, if you overdo the strategic aspect, it can end up diminishing the adrenaline of the fight. It's a delicate balance because the audience wants to see action, sweat, and like epic moments of destruction, but they can also be captivated by a clever narrative.
So maybe the ideal is to mix both elements. Intense action with sharp strategic touches from Destiny. That way both sides would have their moments to shine.
Exactly. Imagine a scene where Destiny sets up a complex trap, but Hulk, in a berserker impulse, ends up breaking free and causing massive destruction. The balance between the planned and the instinctive would be the real spectacle.
That duality is what makes these showdowns so engaging and hotly debated among fans.
Absolutely, we can see that in the comments. Fans are debating who the real winner is in each situation, and even recalling past battles from the comics.
And this discussion is only going to get bigger as OUCM develops. Will we see a definitive battle? Or maybe, who knows, an unexpected alliance between these characters to face a greater evil?
That would be amazing, right? A twist that would show that no matter how opposite they seem, there are moments when even enemies can have common goals. But until that day comes, the debate over who wins, Dr. Doom or Hulk, keeps fueling fans' imaginations.
Exactly. And in the end, this rivalry is more than just a simple clash of powers. It's a battle of ideologies, of intelligence versus strength. And I can't wait to see how this showdown will play out in the upcoming releases.
That's right, and we'll be keeping an eye on every detail. After all, these debates keep the magic of comics alive and always make us wonder, what if our heroes were a bit more complex than we imagined?
Absolutely. So let's keep following this epic journey and see which side will win over the fans' hearts in the MCU.
That's it, folks. Stay tuned and keep debating, because this rivalry is just another example of how our heroes manage to go beyond the obvious, always bringing new perspectives to the Marvel Universe.
See you next time, and may the best win, whether it's the brilliant mind or the unstoppable force.